E allora parliamo di un tema molto attuale che sentiamo sempre parlare anche nei telegiornali, insomma ogni giorno se ne parla di intelligenza artificiale, c'è chi è pro, c'è chi è contro e quindi parliamo in collegamento Zoom, eccolo là, lì già collegato, come vedete, con Nestor Maslej, eccolo qui. Hi Nestor,
How are you doing?
welcome.
Yeah, very excited to be here and very excited to talk to the audience about some of the significant trends that are currently going on in the world of AI. And as was mentioned earlier, I think if you step into a pub, if you step into a restaurant, or if you're just at a dinner party, then AI is inevitably going to come up. And it's my goal today to give you guys some hot topics that you could share at this dinner party, just so that you could seem a bit more clever than everybody else. And this is coming to you guys from the AI Index. I manage the AI Index. The AI Index is an annual report that tracks trends in artificial intelligence, and it's been around for 6 years. Although I am the research manager, we are supervised and edited by a team of distinguished AI thought leaders, people like Jack Clark that co-founded Anthropic, Ray Perot, who's a distinguished AI research scientist, and Eric Brynjolfsson, who's done a lot of really groundbreaking work on AI economics. And basically, we collaborate with different organizations that give us data that ultimately put us in a position to tell a story of what is going on in the world of AI. And today, I'm going to kind of distill a lot of the stuff that's happened in the last year in 10 key highlights. Because I think if you log on to Twitter, it's easy to think to yourself, what's going on, easy to feel overwhelmed. Let's look at some key highlights. One of the first things that's happened in the world of AI is that industry has really raced ahead of academia. In the last year, industry actors have produced much more significant AI machine learning systems than academic actors. And part of the reason that this is the case is because these AI systems are becoming much more costlier to train. And they're becoming more expensive to train because they need more computational infrastructure, and they also need a lot more data. And also, you're starting to see a trend where just more and more AI PhDs are heading to industry because that's where most of the exciting and rewarding jobs are. Trend number 2 is that AI has become so good that there's been performance saturation on a lot of traditional benchmarks. A benchmark is a test of how well an AI system can be doing. And if you look at this graph, you'll basically see there's a lot less purple than blue, which really means that AI is becoming so good that a lot of these old tests are no longer good enough. And we need new evaluation suites like Big Bench and Helm, which are coming out of Stanford, that can challenge these increasingly capable AI systems. A third highlight, and I think a lot of people were really excited about this in the report, is that AI is both helping and harming the environment. It's helping the environment in that it could be used to, for example, cool buildings and optimize cooling in buildings, and in the process lead to massive energy savings. But it's also harming the environment in that the training of particular AI models takes a lot of carbon, and much more carbon than, for example, air travel or the amount of carbon that an average human emits in a single year. A fourth very significant highlight is that in the last year, AI was really tangibly used to accelerate science. It was used to accelerate nuclear fission, which could potentially be a limitless source of clean energy. It was used to help out with novel matrix manipulation, which was a problem that troubled mathematicians for decades, and it was even used to design antibodies. And perhaps, I think this is one of the coolest things, AI started building better AI. NVIDIA used a reinforcement learning agent to improve the performance of some of its own chips. However, it's not all positive. A fifth significant highlight is that the number of incidents concerning the misuse of AI is rapidly rising. We have data in the report on AI-related incidents, and I think this chart pretty much speaks for itself. Over time, there's been way more AI ethical incidents than there have been before. And part of these ethical incidents are tied to some of the things that were mentioned earlier. These AI systems, they have substantial biases. If you type in influential person into Midjourney, you're going to get images mostly of white men. ChatGPT can also be tricked into building a bomb and doing a lot of other nefarious things if the appropriate jailbreaks are employed. A sixth highlight is that, at least in America, the demand for AI-related professional skills is increasing across virtually every industrial sector. This is just data in America, but employers are now posting more jobs asking for AI skills in 2022 than 2021. I would imagine that this trend also holds in a lot of other countries. Interestingly, however, for the first time in the last decade, year-over-year private investment in AI has decreased. So this chart is looking at the number of dollars, US dollars, that is invested in AI. And you'll notice there's a slight dip from 2021 to 2022. Why is this the case? I mean, there are tightening financial conditions. At least in the United States, it's a bit harder to get investment for AI on a broad level than it was a year before, but still, since 2013, there has been a massive increase in the interest in AI investment. And I think this is one of the most important highlights of the report. It's basically that although the number of companies adopting AI has plateaued, the companies that continue to use AI pull ahead. So if you look at data from McKinsey, there's not actually a lot of data that suggests that more companies are using AI, although this data was collected before ChatGPT launched. But I think this is one of the most important charts in the report. It's basically showing that if you're an organization that is integrating AI into your business, you're going to see cost decreases and revenue increases. So AI is going to positively affect the bottom line. And it's these kinds of trends that really might mean that we might see it adopted much more significantly. A ninth highlight is that policymakers are starting to care about AI much more significantly. This map is looking at the number of AI-related bills that have been passed by law into country in the last 6 years. And you'll notice that a lot of nations in the world are starting to think about AI from a policymaking perspective and what we should actually do about this tool. And last but not least, there are widely varying opinions on a public level about how people feel about AI. Chinese citizens, for instance, are among those who feel most positively about AI products and services. Americans, not so much. And this kind of difference in how people feel about some of these tools can have a really consequential impact on how these tools get integrated. And a lot of Americans are concerned about things like loss of human jobs, surveillance. I would imagine these concerns exist in other places as well. That wraps up my little presentation. I hope that these 10 highlights put you in a position to have an informed discussion about AI next time you're in the pub. Of course, I've distilled what is a 400-page report in 10 minutes, and I would encourage you guys all to look up the AI index and to go through the report, find the sections that you find to be the most interesting and meaningful, and think critically about this technology. The final message that I would say is that AI is really here. It's no longer something that's in the lab. It's something that we all need to be thinking very critically about, because it has the potential to change all of our lives. And if we want to get the most out of this potential, we need to be on the forefront about how we want to interact with this technology. Thank you very much.